Today on Prophet's Resurrection Land Cruisers TV, we hit the road in this 1985 Cummins-powered FJ60. This is second, Cummins fourth R2.8 and 80 series. But the first one with the 8-speed auto, Roy, this is about done. About done?
We're getting real close here. A couple missing parts yet, but
yeah,
we're getting there.
So at an 80
for exhaust this weekend, it's gonna be close.
Perfect. They do need exhaust. You know what's nice about an 80 series, with a V8 or with a diesel, you almost always get to reuse the factory air cleaner, which I dig. There's no better air cleaner than that. Cold air through the fender, snorkel if you wanted it.
That's nice.
Yeah, for sure. Looking good.
Thanks.
This is gonna have a rotary shifter too. I wonder if it's in. You wanna peek through
it's mocked up right now.
It's been mocked up?
Center console work.
Oh yeah.
So we've added a few things. But
we're gonna have to. You got no light.
This is our rough fitment. You know, I got seat heaters going up front here, so there's a couple of holes. Chargers. Modernize this thing a little bit, even though this is one of the newer Land Cruisers we do work on.
Yeah, the shifter looks more at home in this than it does in a 60. But it looks good in the 60 too. The Clemenodia. I think the Clemenodia did not come talk to whoever was 5S'ing this FJ80 restoration. I guess I should explain Clemenodia.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a venereal disease.
No. Clemenodia is one of our elves. I'll show you. Clemenodia is the elf of cleaning. Think there's anything good in here? When there's chunks of foam?
Treasure in there.
Yeah, there could be a diamond ring. Like, what if the Hope Diamond's in here? Like, it's gonna be something gross and sticky. This is all. Wait a minute. That's pretty cool. Hey, there's something in this. I love monsters. Oh, is it a stick? Is it a magnet? It is. See, I told you there'd be a treasure. This must have been the little girl side of the car. So I got my Cummins hat on today to show you this really sweet Cummins R2.8 8-speed auto-powered FJ60 restoration that we just finished. It is a body-off FJ60, so it's gone through the entire restoration process. Literally every single nut, bolt, clip, clamp, and spring on this is virtually new, and it's eye candy everywhere you look, so we're gonna get in there and check it out. So the heart of this bad boy, Cummins R2.8, you guys know we love this engine. This one though is a lot different than what we normally do because this one has an automatic. We used to use the 6L80 GM automatic, but yeah, sort of so-so results on that one. But this 8 HP 80 that's behind this is the transmission that should be behind this engine. It is a sweet combination and perfect for an FJ60 or an FJ80. In fact, there's one I'll show you in the shop going into an FJ80 right now. This engine looks right at home in this engine compartment. I love it. I love the way it looks. You'll see that behind the intercooler on this engine, we've got a great big radiator from B-Cool. This is the same radiator we use, actually a little bit bigger than we use for V8 conversions, like an LS3. That's because this little Cummins requires a lot of cooling capacity. This Cummins R2.8 and transmission is supported really well by our friends at Axis Industries, and that is where the gateway and wiring and transmission itself actually comes from for this conversion. So this 8 HP 80 is electronically shifted, so no linkage, right? You couldn't connect a conventional shifter. So we've built an extension onto our standard center console to house the rotary shifter, which is pretty cool. So you might notice that this is actually an FJ62 paint scheme. A lot of guys prefer the round headlights of the FJ60 and don't need power windows and locks, and that's the case with this, but this client really liked the FJ62 two-tone paint scheme, as do I, so we rolled with that, and it's pretty. The paint job isn't the only thing we stole from an FJ62. It's a lot easier to build transfer case linkage for an FJ62 style transfer case that uses vacuum to actuate the four-wheel drive. So we used the vacuum system from an FJ62 and the FJ62 shifter as well. So the inside of this FJ60 looks pretty stock, but there's quite a few differences. First of all, I already pointed out the custom center console. That houses a few things. There's a wireless charging station that we built into the front for your devices, a couple of cup holders, switches for the seat heaters, and speaking of seats, these are pretty different. These are actually 100 series seats. You've seen us use them in several 60 series restorations, but they're covered in the replica FJ60 cloth, or late FJ60, FJ62 cloth. So all new interior, door panels, factory rear seat, 100 series front seats, all covered to match. As usual, we also added 3-point retractable seat belts for the rear passengers. Of course, new carpet, Dynamat, new headliner, recovered dash, brand new interior, super nice, and some modern features. So the dash stays pretty classic, right? This is our 3D printed stereo mount that we've got to house a single DIN stereo, which is a disadvantage in an FJ60 if you want to have a backup camera, because backup cameras are pretty nice. So what did we do? This guy wanted a backup camera in an FJ60. It's right here. This is actually really cool. It is a backup camera, forward-facing camera, dash cam, a mirror. So another modern feature that we're putting in all of our 60 series restorations now is this 3D printed mount for a Baja Designs interior light. Now, we've gone with the interior lights without a separate switch on them and chosen instead to add a dash switch so we can close the doors and the light would go off. Usually back door's open, so it's not going to. But then we have control of both of the interior lights from the dash mounted switch, and of course they go on and off with the doors and the hatch and tailgate. So anytime you lift a vehicle and put bigger tires on it, the speedometer is going to be off. And most speedometers, older speedometers, aren't calibratable. There's nothing you can do to adjust them because the bigger tire is covering more ground with every revolution. So because it takes you farther with every revolution, you're actually going faster than the speedometer is going to say. So this is the fix to that. And these are getting really hard to find, but companies make this tiny transmission. This one's specifically built for an FJ60 or any Toyota Land Cruiser. And this screws onto the transfer case. You just unscrew this speedometer cable, screw this on, screw the speedometer cable onto that. The gears inside here have already been configured for this tire size, 33, 10, 50, and the gears that are in the axles, 373s in this case. So this is going to take our speedometer from about 11 miles an hour off back to accurate. Let's put it on. Snug it up. With this metric adjustable wrench that the guy's loaned me. By the way, I cut a grommet, I cut a grommet in half and I put that in here to act as cushion and also so that this doesn't leak a little bit. You're not supposed to get 90 weight out of this, but sometimes it kind of seeps through there. So Toyota had a little felt washer. I used a half a grommet. There we go, accurate speedometer. So that's enough talking about this thing in the showroom. We really need to get this out on the road and show you guys how it drives. this engine is really nice with a 5-speed transmission, and most of our conversions are with the H55 F5 speed, but I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of an automatic guy. I like automatics off-road, and I like automatics in town, and I like automatics on my commute to work, which is 70 miles, because it's easier. It's a windy mountain road, so if I had a 5-speed, I'm changing gears a lot, which is fun, but not when you're trying to drink coffee, right? Get yourself ready for the day. But this keeps the engine right in the power band throughout the range, and so, it really makes the vehicle fun to drive on the highway and in the mountains. This has got 373s in it, so it's a little bit more set up for flat, but let's get it out here on the highway. See what it can do. And we just put our speedometer correction device in here, so the speedometer is accurate. Was that 6th gear? I think it was. 7th. 8th. Pretty cool. Cruising right now at 75 miles an hour. We love these cars. In fact, we love all vehicles, and so every once in a while we see something that just shouldn't have been done, and that's why we like to say, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. So normally I have something bad to point out when I do a stop it, and I could probably find something out there. In fact, I'm sure I could if I looked around, but we'll just use this good example to show and talk about what's bad. So if you have an automatic transmission and you're going to run a transmission cooler either in the radiator or separate from the radiator, stop just running soft hose, transmission soft hose from the transmission to the radiator or your transmission cooler. Take the time to make a nice aluminum hard line. This is 1/2 inch, but you can get 3/8 aluminum line from any parts store. You can bend it by hand, and then go ahead and use some soft line to go from the transmission to your hard lines. Make sure you mount those really well, like these are, and then more soft line from there to the transmission. This looks better and it's more secure. There's nothing here to flop around. Big long pieces of hose they shouldn't be there. So stop doing that. Make something cool like this. And while we're at it, let's talk about this. If you're doing a Cummins and an 8-speed, this is 1/2 inch tranny cooler line. Most of the time it's 3/8, but this 8 HP 80 is going to make sure it has to have, but this 8 HP 80 requires 1/2 inch line for flow. And it also requires a thermostat, believe it or not, because these transmissions can run too cool. So if you're going to do a transmission like this, you got to have 1/2 inch line. You got to have an independent transmission cooler, which I'll show you in a second. You have to have an inline thermostat so that you don't overcool the transmission fluid. That's kind of a picky transmission, and I'm picky about transmission lines. Stop it! Stop it! Thanks for watching this episode of Prophet's Resurrection Land Cruisers TV. If you liked it, please watch all of our YouTube content. There's hours and hours and hours of fun there. Also, check us out on social media. We are Pro Cruiser on Instagram and Resurrection Land Cruisers on Facebook, Prophet'sResurrectionLandCruisers.com. Thanks for watching. We have Paprola, the Alpha. Is this going to be a parts problem later? They're falling everywhere. Yo, Camathad, you can make that decision. Here's Fife and Eddie, fix it for next time. When I see a truck or a car with a ton of stickers on it, like this guy in front of us, like his whole back window isn't covered, right? But he's trying to keep a field of vision, which is a good thing. But when I see that, I immediately think weirdo. Don't you? Right? Like if the whole back of the stickers are cool, right? But if the whole back of your car is covered with stickers, especially if your whole window's covered with stickers, kind of a weirdo. Probably just lost 3 YouTube followers right there.